What's up, guys? Welcome into another edition of the PHNX Sun Devils Pac-12 Power Rankings, fueled by Illegal Pete's. Gents, great food, great drinks, great merch.
Matching t-shirts.
Matching t-shirts. This is so you don't get
These shits
lost
go
while you're
hard.
at Illegal Pete's, guys.
These shits go hard. It's a fun devil dude.
They're
and it's
comfortable
got,
as
like,
hell,
the,
too.
The collar. There needs to be more like two-tone shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. Absolutely here
Two-tone
for it.
Tony?
Two-tone Tony.
Hey, it's
I'm
Two-Tone
walking
Tony,
in.
just trying to get a nice
Two-Tone Tony. Hey.
tequila soda, huh?
There you
Where's
go.
my prickly bear margarita?
Hey.
Oh, it's right there because the service is so fast
I
at
mean
Illegal
it.
Pete's. It's so fast. The food's so good. I'm Two-Tone Tony. What do you expect?
I got nothing. That was incredible. Guys, let's get into our Pac-12 Power Rankings. Sean, let's start with you. This is the second to last week in the regular season. What do you got cooked up?
Yeah, I mean, top three, pretty easy.
Stop that right now.
Pretty easy. I wasn't even doing an accent. Arizona State 4 beat Utah. I know we all have problems with each other's. I know Shane has a problem with the Oregon thing. I do just think at top 6 teams in this conference in terms of talent are on a different level in the bottom 6. And I still think Oregon, despite everything, is a better team. And then Wazoo, shocked by how high you have Washington, Shane. Wazoo just beat Washington and Colorado, I believe. They've been playing pretty good basketball recently, actually. Why I have them up at 7. And then after that, it's teams that have just not been playing good basketball. Colorado, Washington have not been great recently. Stanford, Oregon State, still the two worst teams in the conference. And you might be thinking, what about Cal? They're the worst team in the conference. Well, they're not in the conference. Nike is. And all I would ask is, what's the common thread between the top 3 teams in the conference and 4 of the top 5 teams in the conference? They're all Nike schools. Checks over stripes. Till I die, Nike is the best.
So ASU's never going to succeed.
I mean, we can have
You
that
said it,
conversation
not
because
him.
I've said this before. I do think that the fact that they're an Adidas school is an actual hindrance to their success. That's because all schools that are successful are almost always Nike schools, but that's neither here nor there.
Sean, before we get to Shane's, how much movement do you think we're going to see over the next 3 games in terms of the top 5, top 6, maybe in the
Well,
Pac-12?
I mean, if ASU wins the next 2 games, they'll be number 1, so potentially a lot. I mean, potentially a lot. I don't expect all that much movement, though. I think the top 3 teams in this conference are pretty solidified. It's really just a matter of what ASU does over the last 3 games. They control their own destiny in a lot of ways. So I don't think we'll see too much movement, to be honest. I think what we have is what we're going to have.
Let's see it. Shane, what do you got cooked up this week?
Sean, you got to figure out what your power rankings mean, because you came at me for having Washington State under Washington because of recency.
Yes.
But then before the show, I asked you about Oregon, and you were like, it doesn't matter what they did recently.
I
Then
didn't
what
say that.
matters, Sean
Totri
DePaz?
said that. I didn't say that before the show. Totri said that before the show.
The
Did I
reason
say
why
that?
Wazoo's at 8 for me is because they are simply under 500. And they've been climbing, and they've been playing better. But Oregon has, right when we thought they were going to turn it around, they lose back-to-back to Washington and Washington State, and they just don't look good. They don't look functional. I don't care what we thought they were going to be. We thought Stanford was going to be better, and they're ass.
Yeah.
Oregon might just be ass, guys. So they're down at 9 for me. I had a brief moment when I was sending you the power rankings where I put UCLA above Arizona, and then I put them back because the win over UCLA just means too much.
Yeah.
USC staying at 3, they're hot. Arizona State's going 4. I mean, it's just what it is. They're at 4 right now.
Yeah.
After beating Utah dropping 1 last night to UCLA as well, but it doesn't move them down because Colorado stays at 6. They're going to get high here soon. I think they might beat Utah in the last game of the season. Then, bottom of the conference is bottom of the conference. I got suitcases down instead of Cal because traveling a lot lately. Going to the combine, so I'm going to be gone from the show again for another week. But also, they're not just used for traveling. You can also use them for moving, like I did yesterday, helping Leah move. They're just great utilization. You can store things in them. They can be used as beds for cats. Suitcases are great.
That's what my suitcases are. They are my cat's bed.
Mm-hmm.
Before we wrap up this week's Power Rankings with mine, Shane, which 2 teams in the Pac-12 should pack their suitcases and head to another conference?
What do you mean?
What do you mean what I mean? That's a pretty straight up question, no?
No, that's
No,
very
it's
loaded.
not.
What does that mean?
Which 2 teams would you
Shouldn't-
like to see in another conference in terms of basketball?
For any reason?
For any reason, sure.
Cal should go play. Cal should just be independent and not play anybody.
We should be D2.
And Stanford should go to the Ivy League.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been here on the Stanford Ivy League train. I think that just it'd be fun. Why not?
Be fun. Makes a lot of sense. All right, let's see what I got this week.
Actually, but
I mean, it
would
makes
be
sense.
fun.
They're smart.
Yeah, fair.
Guys, top 4 are the same across the board. Arizona, UCLA, USC, Arizona State. I do think there is a gap, and a pretty clear gap between 3 and 4. To be honest with you, we'll see how these 2 schools finish up the season. Utah at 5. I know they lost to UCLA, but the rest of the conference just isn't that good. I do have Oregon at 6 with Sean. I do think this is a team, when we get to the Pac-12 tournament, that may turn it on. They also could be where Shane has them at 9. It's just kind of a waiting game. Wazoo at 7, Washington at 8. They're both kind of on win streaks as of late. Colorado on the opposite side of that coin. That's why they're at 9. Stanford, Shane, you got it right. They're ass. That's why they're 10. Oregon State at 11. Cal is independent, D2, whatever you want to call them. They're no longer in the conference. Pretty much the entirety of the season, they've been out of the conference.
Yeah, I also just your rankings are literally just the standings.
Are they really?
Those are the Pac-12 standings. Yes.
Nice. Things you love to see. I got deodorant at 12. Guys, I think this is something that is underappreciated
Yes.
on the daily.
Until you don't have it.
Until you don't have it. Or until you walk by somebody that doesn't have it on,
Yep.
and you smell them, and you're like, oh, you either...
stink.
You'll
Wash yourself.
Wash yourself. 100%. Guys, before we get out of here, 3 games left for Arizona State. How many do you realistically see them winning? If any.
2.
1.
2.
Which 2? Just whatever.
Doesn't
Whatever
matter.
2.
I have an Oregon stat before we get out of here, too.
Okay, let's hear
Will
it.
Richardson has scored 13 points in 3 games.
Combined?
Yes.
Jesus.
Wow. That is awful.
They're terrible. They're bad.
No, because you're going to sit here and tell me Will Richardson's bad at basketball? Or has he been playing bad over the last 3 games?
He's been bad this year.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll leave it at that, guys.
I said the team's bad.
For all
Yeah,
your
that's fair.
Arizona State news and notes, go ahead and check out the PHNX Sun Devils show. But for now, peace.